Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. It's Monday afternoon. We got a ton of listeners in the studio. Today, Ruben was not first. Ruben, you're right there. I see you. You're right in front of my face. You were not first today. Julia was, but Julia's here as well. How did you do it? What's the secrets? I got to know the secrets.
Yeah, it's faster fingers today.
Faster fingers today. Okay. All right. I needed to see it right in front of my face. For those who are new to this and not true to this, Ruben Schneider is usually first in our room, followed by Kreger's, and he wasn't first today. He wasn't first today. He's here, and we'll bring him up at the end of the show, along with Kreger's and the whole crew that are here today. But it's a big hangover Monday. D'Anthony, Bob's already drinking.
Who's hungover?
It appears everybody. Bob, why are you drinking Access? Is it Access beer? What is it?
Well, it's Axis IPA by a Real Ale Brewing Company out of Blanco, Texas, I think.
I recognize the label. I'm a fan of it. I was almost going to call it Access Deer Beer, which I think was a missed
You're still
opportunity.
you've had multiple opportunities now to say the fucking word correctly.
Access.
You said access twice until I
Access.
just called you on it.
No.
Like, just think of Hitler when you think of this beer.
I sure do.
Yeah, Real
Axis
Ale
of
Brewing.
Evil. Yeah.
I don't
Hitler
think
beer.
that's in their marketing materials though.
That's fair.
Axis and then in parentheses, like Hitler, comma like
Hirohito, brother. What did you do this weekend that you got so rocked?
Fucking nothing. Actually, I was like sick all weekend, and yesterday, like me and my wife were just hanging out, and I was gonna have like a margarita, make a little margarita at home.
Yeah.
And not good for a sore throat, a margarita. The
No.
lime, no good. But my realtor had just given me a celebratory bottle of whiskey because we sold our house.
Oh,
So I was
congratulations.
like, I'm gonna have Grandpa's cough medicine,
Sure.
and it worked. It made me feel great in the throat,
Right.
but now I don't feel good in the head.
Well, my theory is this: NFL Sunday, first NFL Sunday of last 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
So everybody was boozing all day long. Even the ratings last night, D'Anthony, for that Cowboys game, 19 million people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's two of the larger fan bases, right? It's the Cowboys and then whatever team Tom Brady's playing for.
But Tampa sure doesn't have that amount of people.
No, they don't. But Tampa does have fans. Plus, every Patriots fan watches everything Tom Brady does. Still,
Yeah.
he's one of the people that has moved on to somewhere else, and I feel like the original fan base doesn't hate him for it.
They did not. I was at Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
The amount of fucking Colts jerseys, man.
It's crazy, right?
I was like, this is sad, guys. Like you,
I understand it, though. I understand it.
I don't know.
I was a primetime fan growing up of Dion, and, all the little journeys he went on through San Francisco and Dallas. I still rooted for him. I didn't buy a jersey, obviously, but, still love primetime.
You didn't spend thousands of dollars on a Super Bowl ticket that didn't involve your team, just your favorite player.
No, I
did.
did not.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did?
They were at the game. I'm
I
saying
wouldn't
they were
do
at
that.
the game, yeah.
I definitely wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. My fandom knows so much where I'm like, all right, I'll watch that on TV, but if you're not on my team or my team's not in it, I'm not gonna do that. But congratulations to everybody else. I think that's why everybody's hungover today. Is the Pentagon hungover today? What's going on there?
No, they're just dumb. I mean, it's the same authoritarian horse shit that you always see. Bob, do you want to pull that link up that I emailed you?
Pull up the link for me, Bible Thief.
So you're not going to see this in mainstream media anywhere, obviously, because they don't really like the news.
No.
They're more into propaganda and shit. But
Or the Queen. I mean, there is wall-to-wall 24-hour coverage of every square inch of where her body has been moved. I've never seen anything like it.
they need to get one of those Santa trackers for the Queen's body and just follow it through fucking downtown.
The last time I saw something like this was when Reagan died. Remember when they went cross-country with the body?
No, because I was a child then.
What? Wait, were you?
Yeah.
When did he die?
Last week, I think.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
You were still a small baby
Reagan
last
died
week?
in the 90s, I believe.
No, I think it was the 2000s, right?
Reagan died in 04.
Oh, four.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But you hadn't seen him in public for a while before that, so
No.
I didn't care about Reagan. I didn't care about him when he was president. I don't care about him now.
You didn't want to put two fingers on the coffin as he went by, like Free Willy, like rubbing the belly of Free Willy as the whale jumps over.
Considering he tripled the national debt, not so much. No.
Well, look, that's going to happen.
It's not.
It's going to happen.
I don't really support that kind of thing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, the Queen has been. I don't understand why people care.
Me neither. She was 96.
There's so many people like,
96.
oh, she was such a great statesman and blah, blah, blah. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's the easiest thing in the world to be fucking rich. Are you kidding me?
But do you know how hard it is to wave like this? Just that tiny little wave? That takes skill and effort, friend.
The most impressive thing that the Queen of England did was not say the N-word on camera. To be honest, right? Old, white, rich lady from aristocracy managed not to say anything overtly racist during her tenure. Congratulations, you win.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking low bar, isn't it?
Yeah. She got away with Princess Diana's murder, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a feat in itself, I feel like. What's happening to the Pentagon today?
Well, it wasn't today, but we've covered this a little bit over the last couple of months. There's been, actually over the last year, a story we did last year about the Pentagon mandating vaccines for people that were outside of their legal jurisdiction to mandate.
Okay.
Right. So you can see the article here if you want to look this dude up on his Substack. It's Jordan Schachtel. The law stated that the DoD could mandate a vaccine if it was an approved vaccine, right? Mm-hmm. So Comirnaty or whatever the fuck it's called was the only one, approved one available throughout this entire process. So, you can't just come out and ask the DoD about it because they'll lie, as they are wont to do. So somebody very cleverly filed a freedom of information request from the Defense Logistics Agency, their purchase orders for the different vaccines. And it turns out that the Department of Defense didn't have in its possession hadn't even ordered a fucking approved vaccine until June of this year.
Perfect.
After tens of thousands of people lost rank, got kicked out of the military, so on and so forth.
So are they allowed to sue, or will they be allowed back in? Because some of them were thrown out.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, they were thrown out under false pretense. So it is not only your right but your duty to refuse an unlawful order in the military. That's part of the fucking UCMJ. And these people refused an unlawful order, which they were given, and then they were kicked out of the military for it. Whether it's honorable, other than honorable, general, whatever the fuck it is, they had their livelihood disrupted and their record tarnished because the federal government was breaking the law. So something will happen here.
I mean, something like this, you almost got to pair up and go like a big class action lawsuit that'll drag on for years and years and years, obviously, and then they'll probably settle out of court for something like this. They'll bury this story. I mean, the media has.
You're not going to see it on TV.
No.
Unless maybe Tucker Carlson, he'd be the only person that would run something like this on actual television.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see it either. How did you find it? Because I certainly didn't read it in anything I came across over the weekend.
I follow these stories, and there's a couple of social media accounts that are people that I know that have been filing the FOIA requests and stuff like that. So Terminal CWO is one of them. They're a couple of retired chiefs from some branch of the government, and they track on all the stuff behind the scenes and post about it. And there's a couple other ones as well that do that.
All right. Yeah, the things that I'm following are involving the restaurants right now. And that's got me real riled up today. Bob, pull that up today. What happened? Somebody posted this, and I hate when poor people post shit like this. It says, I don't understand how the following restaurants are still in business: Chili's, Applebee's, Olive Garden, and Red Lobster. It's because you're poor. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are rich people restaurants. You have to be very rich to go to these restaurants.
No.
Very, very. You have to do really well in this life to go to those restaurants. I'm sorry that you can't go to these. And here's what I find weird is a simple post like this. How many followers does this guy have, Bob?
He actually has like 80,000.
That's not great.
82,000.
It's nothing to, jack off all over your aunt and uncle about.
Also, this guy's from here.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's from Austin.
Some fucking dick down the street just posted that, doesn't understand what's going on. Sorry that you have food options here in Austin, but the rest of the United States doesn't. And when you shit on Chili's like that, you're shitting on America, friend. First and foremost, at Chili's, I'm going to go that awesome blossom. All right? That'll get me in the door every time.
Can you put this tweet up?
There you go. Yeah.
And this guy's from Austin, you said, or just from Texas?
No, Austin.
What's the comment underneath? He says, I've triggered all of suburban America. That's all they have, dude. That's all we have. All right, Austin's different. You have some food trucks and some other options, some nice restaurants.
Not if you go up to like Round Rock and
No,
shit.
dude, I was just there. I went to Dave & Buster's again last night.
What is wrong with you?
I've got children.
I think it's because
You'll find out.
You don't understand how the internet works, so you can't look up other places.
No, it's not that. There's very few places for children that you can go, and I think this is part of it, where you grow up. You used to, I should say, you grow up, and Red Lobster, Olive Garden, all that stuff. That was kind of like your first date nights. And that's what you had growing up.
Yeah, and then like your rich friend who drove like an Audi that his dad bought him, he'd take you to like he'd take his dates to Macaroni Grill.
Correct. And it was like there was a difference there, but it was always some rich kids, you know, I don't want to say a fat, like sloppy rich kid, but that's what it was.
I don't know why you're trying to turn this into class warfare.
It is.
These are shitty fucking restaurants that should not exist. This guy's completely right.
They're delightful.
Ironically, his Twitter bio says, "Welcome to my Twitter. When you're here, your family."
Oh, fuck you. What's his name then? Let's shame him.
His name is Alex, I guess, but I gotta think he probably put that on purpose after this tweet went viral.
I hope so.
He seems extremely self-aware because he also tweeted his bank statement because he was like, people saying why do I hate chain restaurants?
Yeah.
And then it's just Krispy Kreme, In-N-Out, Panera, Taco Bell, Shake Shack, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Domino's,
Well,
Panera.
let's go down the list here. So Krispy Kreme, fine. That's donuts and coffee.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
In-N-Out is fine. Some people like that. Some people don't. Panera is hospital food. That should not be on the list.
Yeah, so if that was on this list, fine. Like I'm willing to lose Panera for the sake of our country,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to lose Chili's.
Well, it's not just about Panera itself. It's about, this guy's trying to establish some bona fides here, right? Like I'm a partaker, I guess, of chain restaurants, but I also have standards. Now, this is evidence to the contrary, I would say. This is like Hunter Biden going on an anti-drug campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Now,
Man.
Chick-fil-A, Shake Shack, Taco Bell, McDonald's, those are all good restaurants.
I'm fine with all of those.
Even Chipotle. But Panera Bread is fucking garbage food.
Yeah.
And not only is the food garbage, but the people that work there. And I mean this. If you're out there and you work at Panera Bread, fuck you. I have no reason to say that.
None.
I just made that up. But it is terrible fucking food. It used to be good.
It did, and having kids, I will say this. There wasn't one time that I went to a Panera and they didn't fuck up our order in Wilmington.
Oh, yeah.
I had to go back every time. It finally just got to the point where they were like, goodbye, sir. And I was like, nope. Checking every single inch of this bag because you fucked something up today.
Yeah.
Also, can I say the closest Applebee's to here has dollar Jello shots.
Really?
Well, you got to get people in the door somehow. And it's not gonna, like if honestly, when it comes to food, if somebody offers you a bargain, you should immediately become suspicious.
Yeah.
Why is that food so cheap? Why can I get 2 dinners for $22 fucking dollars?
Also, where's corporate America going to go for happy hour?
Exactly. Because they're all right around those restaurants.
No, they
and
go
it's
to
like,
the
hey, pop
fucking.
in.
They go to the hotel bars and shit. Come on.
No, you can't do that.
I think we need to. I think we need to funnel people into hotel bars because then more unwanted pregnancies happen.
But a wife isn't gonna allow that when she sees a receipt pop up on a hotel bar. Who are you fucking? Like that's gonna be a negative. You go to Applebee's, nobody's really, suspecting you of cheating.
It's
or
good
anything.
for commerce.
Yeah.
Right? It's good for commerce because the wife then shows up. And then she catches him cheating, and then she's got to have a couple of drinks as well. It's called vertical integration, bitch.
Applebee's, Chili's, Miller's Ale House.
Oh yeah,
The staples.
Yeah,
of corporate
the
America
staples.
happy hours.
Actually, you want to know where I went the other day that was absolute dog shit, like troublingly. I can't believe, and it was clearly trying to be like an upscale Applebee's, BJ's Brew House.
I don't know BJ's.
It sucks.
It's god awful. They like brew their own beer too. It's just like I don't know.
Beer sucks too.
Is it like toilet wine or what is it?
Yeah, man. I guess it's like they threw some sugar into a Bud Light and they're like, "Here's our IPA." You know, like it's just fucking dog shit.
It's essentially, I guess, what Cheesecake Factory would be if you made it a tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a fancy sports bar.
Well,
To be a fancy
all
sports
of these places. So pull up this guy's tweet again. Let's pull up this list.
Yeah, I want to hear who you would lose first out of this list here.
All of them.
Well,
I would never go to any of these restaurants unless I was forced to.
let's start with one. You got one to get rid of there. Gun to head out of the top 4. Chili's, Applebee's, Olive Garden, Red Lobster. They never exist again or never existed in the past. Who are you eliminating first?
Definitely Applebee's, and here is why.
Whoa.
So Chili's and Applebee's are relatively similar, and Chili's is better at everything. All their food is better.
Oh, you know what? That Awesome Blossom actually might be Chili's.
And the Southwest fucking taco thing or whatever the fuck it is. Like they have a couple of items that are actually pretty good. Red Lobster is probably the worst among them.
So kill, fuck, marry. You're killing Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, no,
You can't
because
trust seafood to these places.
No.
that Red Lobster has existed for a very long time with a minimal amount of fucking class action lawsuits. That means at least they're not murdering people with their food.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So the reason I left them off is because they're different. Like they've got that seafood. So you match up Chili's and Applebee's. Chili's is better. It's just the way it is. But all of the food at every single one of those 4 restaurants is frozen, and then they fucking microwave it. So I'm not eating that. I can do that shit at home. I'm not paying somebody. I'm not going to tip you. If you work at one of these places and you think I'm going to tip you 20% because you microwave some fucking food for me, you're out of your fucking mind.
It is the bear back there. It is real chefs, real time.
No.
Go pop up that list one more time, Bob. Let me see.
No,
what
my
we got here.
brother
menu
used to
here.
work at an Applebee's, and
The potato skins at Applebee's are top notch, dude.
he references
top-notch.
like whenever I remember when I was like 6.
You're talking about Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when I was 16. This is a long time ago. When I was 16, I was defrosting some meat, and he goes, "Oh, actually, this is a better way to defrost it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." He goes, "I know that because I work at Applebee's." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "All the food is frozen."
Well,
Probably
some.
This was like what 25 years ago. So it's not gotten better. I promise
Technology
you that.
has improved. I believe in Applebee's.
It's why Wendy's is the best fast food place because they're as far as national chains go. A place that you can go to in any state.
Yeah.
Wendy's is by far the best quality.
Fresh, never
Fresh.
frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't buy that.
I don't
You
either.
can buy whatever you want
I'm leaving Applebee's.
as long as you buy from Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm leaving Applebee's on this list because of the happy hour and then the pea skins. The pea skins are delightful at Applebee's.
Chili's has
But Chili's isn't on this list, so Chili's made it out of this list.
No, they're on that list.
No, it's top 4. Go back, Bob.
It's Chili's, Applebee's, Olive Garden, and Red Lobster.
Go back, Bob.
It's there.
Blow it up. If I'm gonna rank,
Oh, it
these,
is Chili's. Yeah. All right.
They're actually in the correct order.
I think
don't know.
I think they're in the correct order.
I'd probably flip Olive Garden just because it's different.
Well, it's the endless salad and breadsticks there, but I'm fine with that order right there. And it was on accident, I'm sure.
I like their main draw is fucking food for poor people.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
Well,
Like
you have to.
here's some bread. What are we in the Roman Coliseum?
Yeah.
Here's some lettuce.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No,
So
dude.
here's what I think with this is that the one thing you can justify, slightly justify eating at either Chili's or Applebee's is you can just do like a white trash tapas.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just eat a bunch of appetizers.
Look at that. Dude, I app up
So-
every time I go in there.
Yeah, like there's new. If you're getting a steak at Applebee's, you have worse problems in your life than where you're eating.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be eating any of this stuff except for the wings.
The mozzarella sticks are
the-
delightful
yeah,
as
the
well.
mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Same with Dave & Buster's. The food was decent there. And when you have kids, there's not a lot of options here in Texas as far as things to do because it's 180 degrees every goddamn day. So you got to have some place with some form of games to keep them entertained and then do things. And the food wasn't bad there. I was surprised at how many adults were there simply just watching football games because there isn't like a lot of sports bars out here.
So is that who is it that goes to Applebee's and Chili's to watch football on Sunday? Like what's that demographic? Is it people that don't have TVs at home?
No, I think it's people who want to get out, have some cheap drinks, and just get out of the house and away from their families on Sundays. That's what I think.
Typical NFL fans also, I feel, fall very much in this demographic.
Yes.
You mean white trash?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
not white
No.
trash, but just,
White trash.
you gotta.
I think it's rainbow of trash.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about the Cowboys being done for the year after game 1 is that's going to hurt their business.
To be fair,
at all
they're
four of
not
these
done for the
restaurants.
year. They were just never going to be.
No, I understand
for
that.
the entire
but their
year.
hope
Well,
was in their quarterback, and he got hurt last night, so he's done.
The guy that was 14 for 29 before he got hurt. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay,
same guy.
cool. We'll talk about that later.
Same guy. We got Drinkin' Bros Sports this afternoon, but yeah, I'll eliminate Red Lobster from this list, gun to head. And I'm fine with that. If it never existed,
What about Cheddar Bay biscuits?
I love the Sea Bay biscuits.
But you can buy that
Big
at
fan.
HEB now too.
You can.
I'm not sure.
But if the restaurant never existed, the biscuits never exist.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So maybe that leaves somebody out in the world who's going to create that form of magic again
No.
and then release it to people. I'm not sure.
No, if George Washington Carver never existed, we just wouldn't have peanut butter.
You don't think so?
No, it was invented before him, actually.
Was it really?
Yeah, come on, man.
Carver was
Nothing that
him.
nothing that you ever learned in school is correct. Some asshole wrote that down. None of that
Carver
shit's
didn't
real.
invent peanut butter.
No, it was.
Yeah, no, I did. I think you did.
It was an even blacker man.
Was it really?
And they couldn't. I have no idea who the fuck it was. I just heard a rumor that it wasn't him. I don't give a shit. But he's got a dope name. I mean, how do you not? It's like Israel Bissell and what's his name? The British are coming. What's that guy's name?
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. Yeah. So Paul Revere actually rode from nearby the lighthouse about, I think it was a quarter mile into town. And then Israel Bissell is the guy that rode all the way to Philly from Boston. It wasn't Paul Revere. But Israel Bissell doesn't look good in propaganda text.
No.
You know what I mean? And in the same way, George Washington Carver, it's a pretty solid name.
I remember when we learned about him as a kid.
Like if you're trying
my
to-
teacher opened up some peanuts,
Yeah.
kind of sprinkled it through the air, and it was a nice scent to go along with what we were learning. And I never forgot him the rest of my life.
Well, if you're thinking about Reconstruction in the South and you want to have like black heroes upon to build it, George Washington Carver is a pretty good name to use.
Yeah. That's
Actually,
strong.
Canadian invented peanut butter.
A white man?
Marcellus Gilmore Edson.
Come on, it was a white man?
That was a white man that invented basketball.
A
too.
Canadian.
Well, that I know.
A white Canadian man.
Wow. Look at that guy. See,
I'm just tired of like.
why did Carver get the credit then?
Oh, what I just said.
He did a bunch of other stuff
Yeah,
with peanuts.
He
Like,
did everything but that actually.
Like pretty much.
I think
yeah.
he has like, as far as patents and shit, I think there's like over 40 peanut butter related patents he owns, just not peanut butter. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
Kellogg owned the rest.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
just because you rub peanuts all over your body doesn't mean you get the credit for peanut butter. Like, that doesn't really count to me. I never knew this. Now I'm pissed off about it.
Well, he actually, you know that coffee where the cat eats it and then shits it out? And
Yeah.
then that's what George Washington Carver actually did.
Oh, he was eating peanuts, shitting them out, and then making peanut butter with them?
Well, I don't know if he was making butter. He was just selling the peanuts.
All right.
But he's in part of the process for sure.
Yeah, that's a kink. That's a kink. You guys ever cover that on Softcore History, Carver?
We've discussed it.
Briefly.
Like we just make fun of it that it's like people are too dumb to understand what you do with peanuts, so they just tossed in peanut butter.
Is there a statue of Carver in Alabama? Look it up, because if so, I want it taken down. I want that pulled down for stolen valor, and I want this guy's statue replaced in his name. Guarantee you it's somewhere in Alabama,
That's
right?
gonna be awkward. This guy looks a lot like Robert E. Lee.
He sure does, doesn't he? And when you make a bust of somebody or a bronze statue, it's 50-50 on whether or not those goddamn things are going to turn out looking good or not, you know? I saw Baker Mayfield's the other day, and I was like, oof, boy, didn't look like him at all.
Yeah, I mean,
Ronaldo's?
Well, I don't know. It looked like a loser.
Yeah.
And
that's
Baker
true.
Mayfield is a loser.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We got a statue of this fucker somewhere in Alabama?
No, it's actually outside of Joplin, Missouri.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You're the Missouri expert. What's going on in Joplin?
Yeah, I don't know what his connection to fucking Joplin is.
Time to find the fuck out. So is it just a head? Is that what we're looking at there? Is
This
it just
appears
You mean
to
a
be-
bust? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just a bust. Nice mustache, though.
It's in his national park.
Seemingly in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
What? And so he has a national park. Do they grow peanuts there?
Who knows?
I wonder if...
Bob, you know everything about Missouri. Is that him just chilling right there?
As a boy, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
let's
know.
take it down. Let's take all these fucking
yeah.
statues down.
Do you think...
Oh, this is where he's buried.
Oh, shit. Let's go, dude.
Do you think that Big Jelly ever tried to... I mean, since we just, 9/11, do you think... like Big Jelly ever tried to fly a plane into this monument?
Not sure.
It would be a small one because it's a small monument. You don't
Yeah,
need,
take a Cessna. Take a Cessna.
Or you could
into
really
this
just
thing.
fly a drone into it at this point.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I understand why Big Jelly might have something to say about this.
What's the population of Joplin, Bob? What do we got going on there?
I don't
it's
know.
Why not name it Carver?
It's-
Like Janis Joplin was way after him. Why name it after her instead of him? I don't really understand that.
It was a real beatnik community for a while.
Sure.
And they changed the name in the mid-'70s to kind of honor her. And every year, God tries to punish them by sending a new tornado.
Yeah, Carver was a fraud. A fraud. Damn it, man. A white man did this the whole time? Shit. From Canada. I can't even grow peanuts there. He probably had them imported so he could make his secret formula. We've learned a lot today, and we're 25 minutes into the show. Carver got all that credit, dude.
What the fuck? I'm looking in the Wikipedia to try to figure out why it's named Joplin. And the guy who founded the town, John C. Cox, named it that because that's what the fucking body of water nearby was called. Okay, fuck face. So what was the body of water named after?
John C's Cox.
Right.
Is
Piece
that
of shit.
is that a kid's thing? Did some kid break into the Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. No, that's real.
I mean, look, the entire state of Kansas is named for Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
It's not, didn't work the other way around.
Right.
They were like, hey, this state's next to this city.
Yeah.
Let's name it after this city.
That makes sense.
Well, there's nothing remarkable in the entire state, so
No, that's accurate.
except for that, I guess the Lake of the Ozarks. They should have just named it Ozark.
Wait, the Ozarks aren't in Kansas.
All right, I thought you were talking about
Missouri.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
Both states are equally forgettable.
Not a lot
Hold
going
on,
on.
Joplin Creek.
going on.
Joplin Creek,
Did he have slaves?
named after Reverend Harris G. Joplin, a pioneer settler. So let's look him up.
Yeah, did he have slaves?
Because if he had slaves, we're canceling this entire fucking
Fuck,
thing.
dude, because if Carver's there, and this is a white man who owns slaves in Carver's town, I think we've got to cancel the town.
Well, I believe Missouri was not a slave state, right? They were a neutral state.
It was a slave state, yes, but it was a border state. They
I see,
didn't
okay.
secede.
Bob, your relatives definitely had him, I think, right?
No, I don't think so, actually, because we were in St. Louis, and St. Louis was more the Union abolitionist side. There were slave owners there for sure, but the western and the southern areas were the more prominent pro-slavery sides. In fact, Missouri would have seceded. Listen to softcore history. If not for St. Louis.
Okay. Chandler Hobson in the chat is saying, I live in Montgomery, Alabama. We had a high school and an elementary school named George Washington Carver. They just took down the Robert E. Lee statue there, and they're renaming it Lee High School. So that's fun. But if Carver, well, first of all, he's a liar, and we need all that stuff removed immediately. Okay? I want you guys to do a full
Wait,
episode.
is
on
there?
this.
Do we know that he took credit for it, or did we just assign credit to
Yeah,
him?
did we? How did that
assigned
work
credit,
out?
We assigned credit to him.
Yeah, I think it was after his death, actually.
Oh boy, even worse.
Because, again,
I'm telling you, as part of Reconstruction, there was a concerted effort. This is why we know the stories of people like Harriet Tubman and shit.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to have revolutionary legacy figures from the black community as part of the New South
Sure.
or whatever.
Sure,
Which
but
is a
if-
good plan to do, but there were plenty of people like Harriet Tubman, by the way, who did cool shit. You didn't have to make one up.
Yeah, and if this was stolen
Frederick
valor,
Dollars.
we got to take down everything in the town, and then we got to find out if this guy owns slaves.
Yeah, I'm
on
looking
top
at
of
it here. I mean, he had he left his hometown of Greene County in Missouri and came to Jasper County, which is where Joplin is, and
He had 468 slaves.
he had 80 acres of land
Oh boy.
upon which he built a church.
Yep.
And some other stuff, and they worked the land, so I can't imagine that he did not. This is in like the 1930 to 1935 period where he first moved there. So
1830.
Or- yeah,
1830s, yeah.
1830,
And
yeah.
whenever you use the phrase "they worked the land," let's be honest, we know who "they" is in that sentence. So I'm not happy about any of it. But as I'm looking out at the sea of people out here today,
Look,
my
management-
money's on Bob. My money's on you for your parents owning slaves.
My parents.
Yeah. Your actual parents owning slaves. And then probably Craig Dulesky.
you know what we should do?
Craig Dulesky definitely did. You've got a farm out there. That didn't happen on its own. Yeah, I've been there.
Here's what we need to
Been
do.
there.
We need to do a time traveling show, but it's woke people that invent the time traveling device. So they're just going back in history so they can cancel people. And we just go back and cancel every cool person ever for some little minute reason.
Carver, man, that's the top of my list. What a weird thing, though, because
that would be like Portlandia, though.
right?
How it was so prescient, I guess. And then 5 years from now, when we invent time travel, somebody's actually going to go back and do it. So maybe we shouldn't do that.
Carver, though, is a weird one to me because if it was after his death, there's nothing he can do about it.
Well,
And
you're the
he
one that
doesn't know
wanted to
this is
cancel
going
him.
on. Well, I still do if he didn't do it. Like, if you don't do the thing, we can't just give you the credit for it. That's not how America works, Jack. Like, we got to take it back the same way we've taken everything else back. So let's get to the bottom of this, figure out who's who, what's what, and then why Bob's parents owned slaves.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it was 100 years too
I think
late, too.
Carver, there's a lot of credit he should get, though. So if you're going to cancel him for that, you got to give him the credit for all the other stuff.
All right, what do
like,
we have here?
making chili sauce out of peanut oil. This is a very early understanding of using a lipid carrier to transport proteins, right? I don't know if any scientists ever actually used it for that purpose, but that's what that is. Also, shampoo.
He invented shampoo?
No, he invented using peanut butter for shampoo, which if anybody has ever had gum or semen in
Or
their
tar?
hair, well,
Yeah.
it's mostly gum and semen, I
Okay.
think. Then, your peanut butter will get it out.
All right.
You can also use peanut butter for lice the same way you can use mayonnaise, right?
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
it just suffocates them.
I'm
Peanut
gonna-
butter, by the way, smells quite a bit better than mayonnaise.
It does.
If I had lice and the only thing I had to get it out was mayonnaise, I would instead kill myself.
If you were eliminating one condiment from the planet, would
Mayonnaise
it be mine
forever.
too.
It's fucking disgusting.
Mayonnaise.
Get out of here with that shit.
If it's on something and then it just comes to me and then I'll eat it, I don't really mind it, but I won't go out of my way to order it. Whereas mustard and ketchup, I couldn't lose in my life.
Ketchup, I could live without if I had ranch.
Fries?
If I had ranch
Burgers?
dressing, I could do okay. But mustard, I need.
You're going to circle back to ranch after calling all those restaurants white trash? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me, hombre.
What point are you making?
Ranch is for fucking poor people, dude.
it's
That's
not. What are you
yes, it
talking
is,
about?
dude.
No.
Ranch? That's probably the worst dressing.
Ranch is mayonnaise.
Is there
actually.
a worse dressing than ranch?
No, it's the best.
No.
Most people like ranch dressing. Actually, it's the most popular.
They usually go with Thousand Island, blue
No.
cheese on thing. Ranch is kind of left over where it's like, oh, hey, you're white trash. Cover it up with ranch.
No, if I had to guess, she's white. She's probably got ranch in her fucking purse right now.
Ask her to pull out her purse. Put the camera back there. Yeah, go back there. Let's see. Do you have any ranch in your purse? Yes or no? Well, let's see it. Open up your purse. What do you got in there?
There's probably some weird shit in there.
Yeah, pull it out. Did you go to adamandeve.com? If you did, you did. I don't really care. And if you're carrying ranch on you, that's not it's not against the law in the state of Texas. You can open carry ranch here. Like if you're out there just walking in the streets, you can holster up with ranch.
I actually think the only time you're an actual garbage person for using ranch is if you put it, ironically, on a salad.
Yeah.
Like if you're dipping stuff in it or whatever, that's fine. But if you need to douse your vegetables in fucking ranch,
Have you ever
to
had
eat them-
well, first of all, you shouldn't be eating vegetables in the first place.
Eagle's milk is
But-
what Bill Schofield's calling it.
But a Cobb salad, right, with ham and bacon and hard-boiled egg and shit like that, there's no other dressing to put on that.
Ugh.
And that's the only salad I will eat, by the way.
I hate Cobb salad.
Yeah, I'm not big.
same.
It's named after Ty Cobb.
Although I like
He was
it
a
is.
racist.
Yeah.
You
well,
don't like a nice wedge?
Yeah, I'm a wedge.
I'll
guy.
go wedge.
I like a wedge with blue cheese crumble and bacon. I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll wedge it up.
I'm a wedge boy.
But it's not about the fucking wedge of iceberg lettuce.
No,
and
it's
if you
the
say it
bacon.
is, for you, then you're full of shit, by the way.
No, it's the blue cheese. It's the bacon.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what? Blue cheese and bacon is somehow better than ranch dressing?
It sure is, and it's the shape of it
Fuck
too. It
outta
comes in
here.
a nice
You're making-
triangle.
This is a
fail-
completely asinine argument you're making right
You
now.
can't get a wedge salad at any of these white trash
Forget about
places.
all that. Forget
you
it.
can get a Cobb salad everywhere.
We're talking about blue cheese v. ranch here. What's your fucking argument in favor of blue cheese?
They spell it all French like.
yeah,
It's better on
very
wings.
fancy. Sure is.
Yeah.
It depends on the blue cheese, right? And it also depends on the wing. Blue cheese is
I'm
not
on blue
always,
cheese all day on
Blue
wings.
cheese is not always better.
I almost don't eat wings if there is no blue cheese.
If I go to a place with
Almost.
wings and there's no blue cheese dressing,
I lose all my
I
shit.
get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you even doing?
I lose my shit.
Yeah, we don't put cheese on our hamburgers. What?
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck yourself.
Sorry, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna take my business down the road. All right. Carver didn't invent peanuts, damn it.
He didn't. You're right.
Yeah. He didn't invent peanut butter either.
No, Jesus did that.
Yeah, he sure
Well,
did.
The peanuts, not the butter.
He sure did.
Jesus invented truffle butter. Truffle butter is when you use a lot of lube during anal sex, but there's also some poop mixed in. So
Sure
as it churns and starts to froth, it looks like it has a butter texture, but it's brown.
It's got a smell to it, like truffles as well.
I believe Drake and Nicki Minaj did a song about it.
Number one.
Yeah.
Song was number one in the world.
And it was like Lil Jon was skeet skeet. White people didn't know what it meant, so it just ran on TV and radio for years.
Forever.
And people were like, "Oh, fucking truffle butter, man!" Like, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's like a mixture of lube and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And if you're out there creating truffle butter, you might as well do it on a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Is the cover and frame there? There it is. That's why it exists, by the way. That exists in case you're doing butt stuff, in case there is truffle butter out there. That's going to keep that mattress nice and clean and safe. And that's all we care about. It's safety first here on this show. And that's what GhostBed cares about. That's why they invented it. Where they're like, hey, let's not ruin an unbelievably nice mattress just because you want to have some friendly butt sex. All right? Get a cover for the mattress. You can also get some sheets with that. You can get the pillows, the mattress itself with the adjustable base. Type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout. You get 30% off everything in the entire store. Bundle package is there. I got an email, too, about 50% off. So if you're on the emailing list, they are still doing some of the 50% off, but they're emailing it to you.
I got an email and it was just nudes.
Really?
From the company.
Yeah,
but
it's
only dudes that work there, so it's like
it's the only nudes I care about in this world.
Look, nudes are nudes, I guess, at that point.
I'll take them.
They're giving them to me for free, so what can I really say about it?
I'll take them. 40% off that bundle package. That's the adjustable base and the mattress combined together for one night of truffle magic there at ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros. The bottom of the page, you're going to see a 60-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest as long as you have decent credit. All the deals I mentioned previously are good with that. You can walk out of there with a brand new bedroom set for about $25 a month. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros today. Next up, we got mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. It's going to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Last Thursday, when we did this ad on air, I told you to take the Bills -2.5. They crushed. Tonight, there is a Monday night game on. I've gone all in on Russ. I'm going to let Russ cook tonight. -6.5 for the Denver Broncos over Seattle, and I'm taking that just straight up. No teasers or nothing tonight. I know I take a lot of teasers on this show. That one, straight up bet. I think they blow them out tonight. What do you think?
I mean, the Seahawks are really bad.
Bad. Is Geno starting or is it Drew Lock tonight? Do we know?
I think it's Geno.
It's Geno.
Also,
oh, boy.
The Seahawks are bad, yeah, but I mean, it's the fucking NFL. You know who else is fucking bad? Like, bad?
Yeah, there's tons of teams.
The Texans.
Yeah, terrible.
The Bears.
Terrible. Yeah.
And they tied and won, respectively.
The
Oh,
Giants. The Giants won.
Giants won. Yeah. Those are the games we didn't touch, though, ironically.
Lost a lot of money.
We
this
didn't.
week.
Yeah, but we didn't touch those on this. Oh, well, on the NFL show, we didn't. But there's some other ones we did, which we'll get into later. But go to mybookie.com. Get in on the action. It's a recession out there. It's a nice little side hustle right now. I got a 6-game teaser, too. That's depending upon Denver tonight. As well as that -6.5. All the odds are on mybookie.com. College football has started. NFL has started. It's fun just to have a little quiche on the game in the background just to make you feel alive inside. Go to mybookie.com. Use promo code Drinkin' Bros to double your deposit all the way up to $1,000. And then follow us after this, Drinkin' Bros Sports on YouTube. We'll be live over there doing the Monday morning recap, and we'll go through some of these picks over the weekend and then tonight as well, including that over-under. Last but not least, Anthony, we got BetterHelp. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and it's one of those things where, look, I think we all need it from time to time. It is online therapy for you. They've also got it through the phone as well. Life is full of twists and turns, and it's important to show up for yourself through it all. BetterHelp Online Therapy will assess your needs and can match you with your own licensed professional therapist in less than 48 hours. The beauty of this is if you don't want to see someone, Because I know that's kind of mandatory these days where it's like, zoom in. I've got to look into your eyes and then talk about shit that you might not want to talk about because it's awkward or uncomfortable. And it's a stranger at the end of the day. You don't have to do that here. So you can just reach out and talk to them as well. They don't record any of these conversations, and they've got a super secure back unit there over at BetterHelp that will keep everybody out for trying to rip this. I didn't even know that was a thing. Mm-hmm. People were trying to steal like conversation shit.
Well, it's not just about the conversation. It's about the personally identifiable information they can use to steal your identity.
Oh, got it. So look, it's not a crisis hotline. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely online, available to people worldwide. Just log into your account anytime, send a message to your therapist. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions like I talked about earlier, so you don't have to be on camera, and then you'll be getting therapy every week, and it's just as easy as a few clicks on your laptop or phone. With therapy, it can take a few trips to find the right fit for you. BetterHelp makes it easy and free to change therapists if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp is a great way to invest in yourself. And they've got a special offer from our listeners here. 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/DrinkinBros. That is 10% off your first month of online therapy at BetterHelp.com/DrinkinBros today. Last but not least, go to hardafseltzer.com. I think we're down to 38 cases or something like that of the old flavors. New ones are getting made in 6 days, D'Anthony. I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll have them in Tennessee for the Gators game. Gators versus Vols on Saturday. That'll be fun if you're in that area and want to join us. Also, if you're in the state of Tennessee, we're in 83 stores. You name it, we are there. It was wild being there and seeing it in every single store like that. I was like, holy shit. I mean, literally every gas station and liquor store I popped by, I was like, man, we're here.
Yep.
I went ahead and bought some cases for the rest of us, including us in Texas. We shipped to 41 states. And it'll ship right to your house. Get the old flavors before they're gone. Go to hardafseltzer.com. And if you're in Tennessee, there's a store locator there, and it'll tell you about all 83 stores there, D'Anthony. Man, this weekend, the heat was on here. When is this going to end? It was 120 on the field at that Texas game on Saturday night. When is this heat going to end here? When does it stop in Texas? I'm all done with it.
Hopefully never.
You like it?
Yeah, because for the globe, I guess, the warmer the average temperature of the globe is, the more people survive longer.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, Alex Epstein was just on the show a couple of months ago. You should have paid attention when he was talking.
No, we were talking about 1.5 degrees every 100 years. That's fine.
Yeah, that's the average aggregate raise.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's not like...
I'm fine with that. But it seems like in this state, God damn it, dude, it's just never ending. I want to ask you about this Russia thing, too. I saw Zelensky again. This guy gets more screen time in America than anyone else I've ever seen in my life at this point.
Yeah, of course. He's a cash cow for the federal government. Like, they steal your money, and they send it to him. They send it to Ukraine.
Right.
But, I think it's 77% never leaves the United States.
So I want to ask you this, and you can tell the audience if this is true or false, because I'm starting just to believe you now over everything else, and I'll ask you first. So it says that Russia has been on the run for the past few weeks. Invaders have been pushed back to the border, and it is the greatest counteroffensive since World War II.
What about the counteroffensive from Vietnam?
The Tet Offensive?
Well, their entire fucking offensive against us to push us out of the country, where dudes were literally jumping onto helicopters to get the fuck out of that country. Like, that seemed like it was pretty much better. That was a major superpower, not Russia. Russia's never been a real superpower. They've always been like a house of cards, economically especially. But a major superpower, the United States, has gone into Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan and got chased out of all three countries. Those are all better than what's happening in Ukraine.
So if this is real, and he was on CNN talking about it, right? If this is all real and this is happening now, why do they need our money then? They seem to be doing fine without it.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you just need money. I don't know. Here's what I do. I hear like the government say things, and I assume that the opposite is true. And I think that's a very safe way to go through life.
But in this case, this isn't actually the government. This is him on CNN.
No. He is I am 100% convinced that Volodymyr Zelensky is a fucking. And we've done this before, by the way. So if what I'm saying sounds crazy to you, I will give you an historical comparison in just a moment. Zelensky is a CIA plant. He is a guy that we wanted in office there, and if you don't believe me, he was literally a fucking actor and entertainer before this. We picked a guy who was good on camera, had no leadership experience at all, and we just put him in charge, and we run things from fucking Washington. And if you don't believe me, it's exactly what we did when we fucking executed General Terreo in Panama and installed Manuel Noriega to sell our drugs for us, so we could use that drug money to buy guns to conduct micro wars all over the fucking place, especially in Latin America to keep the Russians out. We've done all this before. And then when Noriega outlived his usefulness, we fucking threw his ass in jail for the rest of his life.
You think that's what it was?
No, I don't think that's what it is. That is the history. You can go fucking read about this right now.
You're positive. So who put Noriega in? Who was the president?
I think it was
Reagan
in '83, I believe.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
So who would put this fucking guy in? When did Zelensky get in? Bob, do you know when Zelensky got in office? Because I don't remember it. It was one of those blips where it was like, oh, hey, a comedian's running a country.
Yeah, it was Reagan in '83 that installed Noriega, and this is when Ollie North is down there running all these like narco-terrorist operations, and then threw him in jail in 1989.
Okay.
So Zelensky became president in 2019.
No shit. Okay. Weird. Yeah, but he's all over CNN today, and he's talking about our goal is to deoccupy our whole territory. Can he actually do that?
No.
What do you think the
I mean,
end result is gonna be?
I assume by that he means that they're going to also get rid of the Russians in Crimea. That's not happening, right? My expectation, which I said at the very beginning of this conflict, and I maintain it today, is that Russia will keep the Luhansk, Donetsk, the Donbass region there, and fuck off. And then a couple years, 5 or 10 years later, they'll come back and try to take a little more and a little more. That's what they do. That's what they did in fucking 2004. It's what they did in 2013. It's the same shit over and over again. I don't know why people are pretending like this is why I know for a fact this is all government propaganda, because it's already Russia's already done exactly the same thing twice in the last 20 years, and it ended the same both times, and now they're doing the exact same shit. Right, and they control that whole eastern side. They're not. They may be leaving the central and western parts of Ukraine, but they're not fucking off from the places they occupy on the east, which is what they wanted.
So CNN was given exclusive access to a newly liberated town in Kharkiv. Do you know where that is?
It's in the north, I believe.
Okay. Where it says maintaining Ukrainian control could be difficult. In villages further west, calm has been restored. So everything's fine. It sounds like they don't need us.
Yeah, Kharkiv is it's northeast. It's above. So if you look at the map,
I believe it's their second biggest city.
Yeah, it is. But
Okay.
that's Russia isn't trying to, in my opinion, based on their actions over the last 20 years, I don't think they're trying to just cannibalize all of Ukraine again. What they're trying to do is grab natural gas and oil reserves, right? Luhansk, Donetsk, Mariupol.
This is a map of the offensive.
Yeah.
If you want to, it's like a video, so it like plays what's gone on the last 2 weeks.
Okay, and who is this from, Bob?
This is, I don't know who this guy. It says it on the map, I guess. Institute for the Study of War, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of their work.
Yeah,
I used to go there as a child.
I'm sure that's definitely on the level.
I had a scholarship there as a child to the Institute.
But yeah, you can see how they've withdrawn from some of the central and western parts of the country, as I predicted.
Okay.
And this is they will hold firm in Donetsk and Luhansk, maybe 10 or 15 years from now. I don't even think Kharkiv is in play. The only reason they were in Kharkiv in the first place is because there are some places in the north central and slightly like north by northwest central part of the country that have maybe the largest natural gas deposits that exist in the entire region. And the only reason they were there is because there's easy entry from Belarus. If they were able to control Kharkiv, they could have maybe taken some of that stuff, but that's like extra shit.
Okay.
Like, this is not how Russia operates.
My question is, why go on CNN with ratings that low? Zelensky's got to know he's only going out to a couple 100,000 people there, right?
Yeah.
If you wanna head on down to Drinkin' Bros, you're fine. You know, bring his fucking translator here and just set up shop.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm sure he speaks English.
Does he?
I'm sure. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, this. By the way, anybody that points out these very obvious facts about how this stuff has been going is like, oh, you're fucking. What do you support Russia? No, I just have eyeballs.
Yeah.
And, you know, even vague memory of the last 20 years to know exactly what the fuck is happening here, you stupid bitch. Like, you can't, when I see what's happening, and it's the same exact thing that's happened before, and they're trying to tell me that it's different this time, doesn't that sound a lot like a crazy ex?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to be different this time. No, it's not, man. You're the government. You fucking lie. Bunch of fucking cunts.
Oh boy, just watching all of this, you're like, man, are you that out of stories? Like, I don't really get it.
Well, no, they want, in the same way that we were talking about George Washington Carver and some of those other people before about, you know, major social movements and major wars, you need heroes, right?
Yeah.
And they want him to be the hero. I don't know why him.
I don't either.
I don't know why they're not leaning on fucking Klitschko or some other people like that. People that
Klitschko would have been a cool one, right?
people that are like Klitschko was the perfect guy to use, and the fact that they're not using him means that I know that's how I know they're full of shit, right? Otherwise, it would be him and not Zelensky.
Well, he's what, the mayor of Kyiv, and
He's the mayor of the capital city. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then
which is essentially
Zelensky's-
in a country like this, that's basically like the second most powerful guy in the country.
what is he? The prime minister?
He's
Is that what they
I
call
don't
him?
even know
They
what
call him
fucking-
president or prime minister?
He's
then?
president.
Yeah.
He's president.
I don't know if it's like Russia where they have a president and a prime minister, and the prime minister is more powerful, but I think it's just president in Ukraine.
All right. I mean, look, it's important to know, Bob, because I care. I care about everything that's going on in Ukraine. And I want to know everything. I want to know everything about it, just like everybody else does.
Nobody cares about Ukraine. People just don't like Russia.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I agree with this. I agree with this. But the reason I bring it up today is, you know, we have a huge back catalog of videos and stuff like that and audio. I don't read the comments unless I'm literally on it, like on the app, and I'm like, all right, shit, who is this? And it was somebody talking shit against Tim Kennedy when he was on the show.
Yeah, something about it didn't age well. What he said was
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah.
I don't remember what he said in that particular instance, but feel free to go read exactly what I've said because it's happened fucking exactly as I said it was.
Tim said the same thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what's going to happen. I just wonder, because it says Putin here's prepared to go into the winter with this shit. When's a fucking end date where we can stop caring about?
Oh, it was like the day after it started for me.
Same here, but as far as like our government giving them money, or is that just going to keep going on
that'll
forever?
never stop. So Russia's trying to get back at us for the Cold War. This is what we did to them. We bled them the whole time, right? It's what they did to us, or what we did to them in the Afghan situation as well. We sent weapons and financial support to Afghanistan so they could defeat the Russians, killed a lot of Russians, fucked up their fucking plans for about 30 years. It eventually led to the downfall of the Soviet Union, and now they're just getting us back. They're fighting a war that's close to them, that we have to travel to, that we're spending billions of dollars for, and we're suffering at home because of it.
Yeah.
And all of Northern Europe, if not all of Europe entirely, is suffering because of the energy crisis there from this bullshit. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to go on for a while. I just kind of want an end date where it's like, hey, let's just pick one next year, and then we can never not talk about it again. But it's probably not how that works, right?
No, well, I mean, this is just like, you know, an extreme level of distraction, so they can do things like what Visa did this weekend, which is they stated they plan to start separately categorizing gun and ammunition purchases, right?
Really?
And the response to that from gun control advocates is that it'll help better track suspicious surges of gun sales that could be a prelude to a mass shooting. Now, this is a violation of the Constitution, right? If anybody like Visa as a private company can do whatever the fuck they want. But if anybody in government encourages this or tries to use this information or gain access to this information for red flag stuff or whatever the fuck, that is a de facto gun registry, and that is illegal, right?
But are we surprised by any of this? Like, I saw that Twitter whistleblower, he's going to testify before Congress tomorrow, I think. But then magically today in Sacramento, where all the data is stored for Twitter, the whole building went down because of a heat wave, they said.
Oh, yeah.
So that just happened the day before, Dan, you know? Seems real. Seems realistic to me.
Yeah,
I think everything's fine.
It's like how Hillary's email server committed suicide and then all of her Blackberries smashed themselves up with rocks and poured bleach on themselves. It's weird.
That's it. It's a weird thing, though, with BlackBerry, and they warned you on the label. They said, hey, your phone might self-destruct.
It does say from time to time your phone will
Smash itself into
with
pieces.
rocks and then pour bleach on itself.
Yeah.
Which I didn't, who reads the whole
I never do.
end user license agreement? I don't read all that shit.
I never do. I never update my phone, for
I guess
Christ's sakes.
that one's probably on us.
So are they going to televise this Twitter guy tomorrow?
Oh, I seriously doubt it. I mean, technically, I think C-SPAN televises everything. Now, as far as Fox and CNN and MSNBC, I don't know.
To me, that would be a more interesting one. Like, I don't really give a shit about athletes doing steroids. I didn't need to see any of that. I didn't really care. I figured they were doing steroids, and I was fine with it. I was happier at the ballpark when they were doing it.
I guess it depends on where. I mean, I think, yeah, they probably will. They probably will because Zatko, who is the whistleblower here, was the head of security for Twitter.
Okay.
Starting in November of 2020.
Wow.
So my guess is the left will try. One of the major claims he's making is that Twitter did not guard against spies and foreign governments having access to their data and being able to manipulate things. and I assume that the left, if they allow this to go public, will try to spin it as like, see, told you Trump was colluding with Russia or whatever the fuck, which has been disproven. The real problem though is that Agrawal, who was the CEO at the time, is on record. This guy at least alleges that he has emails and other communications showing that Agrawal told people to keep their fucking mouth shut about it and refused to tell the board about it and tell the shareholders about it, in which case he's going to federal prison, which would be really nice because he's a real piece of shit.
And this is Republicans and Democrats get to ask questions, right?
It's a Senate Judiciary Committee. I don't know who the chair is. It was...
well, every time I've watched one of these things, that's kind of how they do is they go 50-50, right? My curiosity tomorrow will be if one of them asks, because they can ask whatever they want. It's not like they have to stick to any script.
Right.
And let's face it, most of them do it for their own motive anyways. I just want to see if one of them asks about the bot accounts there and how bad it is, just to give a response that is maybe favorable to Elon Musk or against Elon Musk, one way or the other, and then just to hear what somebody who worked that high up inside of Twitter would actually say about it. Because the more and more I'm on Twitter, and again, we go to them a lot for news. I don't really give a shit about people's opinions, just the news and things that are breaking. Because if there's an earthquake in a certain city, a million people will pop up and be like, yeah, it was fucking huge, whatever, right? But I agree with you. Where more and more I'm on there, and it seems like it might be more than 50% that are bots.
There's no way that the same amount of people are saying the same exact thing in a slightly different way like that, just in rapid succession. That's not how life works.
But tomorrow, if they asked him that, and we kind of got to the bottom of that, that would be awesome.
Well, federal judges already told Twitter that they have to turn over all of their records to Elon Musk, all of their records.
Well, they melted today, Dan, so they won't exist,
Yeah, we'll see.
All the servers got shut down in Sacramento.
That's not where their main server farms are. I wouldn't.
Well, it says they have 3. Bob, how hot was it in Sacramento today? Because, Sacramento, having lived there, it gets a little warm in Sacramento. That's not...
Looks like it was 80. It's 83 degrees right
the
now.
Fuck, are you serious?
High of 93, maybe.
It's not that bad. Holy shit. I've been in worse weather in LA than that. Sacramento, you're fine underneath it. 83 degrees currently? Because that's what they said, it went down because of that. So,
Yeah.
Oh, that 83 is the one that took down the whole servers. You don't say. High of 83. They just weren't prepared for that.
A little bit of this is probably just congressional grandstanding, which they are wont to do, but it makes me really suspicious of Elon Musk, especially because if certain things come out in this Senate hearing, then he's completely off the hook from having to buy Twitter.
Oh yeah.
For example, they're not in compliance with a consent order from the FTC from back in the day, from like 2010 or 2011. One of his claims is that they actually have foreign agents on their payroll, right, which is also not great. And one of the last, if the FTC consent agreement is not been held to correctly, and if they lied to obfuscate that fact, we're talking about billions in fines, like $7 to $15 billion in fines, which he could easily say, like, this company's a piece of shit, I'm not buying it. Yeah. Right now, he's got a fucking an actual monetary reason not to do it, aside from just never having the intent to do it in the first place, which is what I think.
I just genuinely want to know the answer. I really do. Just from my own knowledge of like, oh, hey, 60% is fake. That way, the people that everybody are arguing with every single day, you can be like, man, I'm just arguing with fake people all goddamn day long.
Well, you shouldn't spend a whole lot of time arguing on Twitter.
I don't. But a lot of people do, and you see them going back and forth, and then you click it on, and you're like, wait a minute, that's got 2 followers and an eggshell there. That's not a real person.
Yeah.
And as we've been going along with the show here, Red Lobster has climbed to number 3 in the world on Twitter right now, Bob. So, yeah, everybody agrees Red Lobster should be killed off here.
Maybe. I don't know if that's what they're saying.
No, it is. So everybody's saying if you had to get rid of one, it's Red Lobster. That one's got to go.
I mean, I don't think any of these places should exist, so I agree with him in the principal argument.
That's blasphemy, my man. I mean, this is great here.
No.
People are also freaking out about this iOS 16 coming out. I don't know where Giorgio is today. Why do people give a shit about this iOS 16 so fucking much?
Well, here's one of the reasons. So anytime a new phone gets announced, around the same time, they usually announce a new iOS for it.
Okay.
And the iOS from the new generation on the old generation phone just fucks everything up.
Yeah.
And they do that on purpose.
Yes,
I mean, technically,
so you get the new phone.
Technically, it's not illegal to do that. It's just a little uncouth, I guess. But
sucks.
Just entertain a few of the lovely guests that we got here in the studio.
I know we got a ton. We got a ton here today.
These are the OGs too.
Oh, of course. But what's the iOS 16? Why do we give a shit about this, and why are people freaking out?
New features.
What are they?
It's an update.
Okay.
So like when you have a new phone come out that does some new things with like the new dynamic island for your notifications that you'll be getting on that new.
What the fuck is that?
So you know the little cutout for the camera on the front where it's usually black? And
Yeah.
like, why doesn't my screen go there?
Yeah.
Well, now they've made that even smaller, and it's in the shape of an island. But what they're going to do is they're going to release your notifications there. So that way it doesn't look distracting. It looks pleasing. So like your calls will come up from there and it'll expand. And depending on what kind of notification you get, it'll be a different animation, different size, different colors. So you'll be able to immediately look at your phone and then know exactly what's happening. There's also an always-on feature. So when you sleep your phone now, it goes into a very low-power mode, kind of similar to the Apple Watch, in which that you can always see the time or see if anything is there, like a notification.
I feel like a minute ago you said colored, and I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Did he?
I don't know.
Look, we found out Bob's parents own slaves today, and then you said colored live on air.
Well, you're
Colors.
Oh, colors. Okay.
I don't see a difference.
All right.
Hard ER.
Oh, yeah. No, ED.
Well, I can't spell.
Yeah, ED.
I
It's
have
fine.
ED.
No, it's fine. And what else is going on with this goddamn thing? Because everybody's pulling up the screens and they're like, oh, there's a new moon screensaver. That's amazing. It looks like the goddamn moon itself.
One, you're always going to love that. Apple's going to give you some of the finest, most high definition, like nature pictures or perfect backgrounds that transition from night to day for you, depending on what time of day it is. Those are always.
If you really want to know, just go look at what Samsung did with their phones 3 years ago, and it'll be that, right? But again, fuck off with your green text. If you send me a green text, I'm ignoring it.
I know.
So the most
Shit.
important thing is if you don't have an iPhone or an Apple Watch, you are going to die. And that's kind of the meat of the marketing material, is that it can now connect to satellites. So there's a little app you can open, and you don't need a special phone. You just point your phone at the sky, and eventually you could get an emergency text message or beacon out for someone to come save you.
I feel like you're just going to
Yes.
get struck by lightning if you
That's
do
what
that.
I feel like,
Which is
too.
better than having a Samsung, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather get struck by lightning than own one of those piece of shit phones with green text.
I'd rather die than look poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Dan on this one.
Get that new watch, man, that giant watch.
Oh, I
face.
got it already.
Oh, you have the.
Well, I ordered it. It doesn't get
you have
here
the
until-
iWatch?
I got the, what's it called?
Apple Watch Ultra.
Ultra. No.
How
It's something
big? How
else.
big is it?
Bigger.
It's 49 millimeters instead of 45, I believe was the biggest one before. So
All right.
4
It's
additional millimeters.
You got a picture of this thing, Bob, so we can see it.
Is it Ultra? What is it?
Apple Watch Ultra. It's the same size Rolex Submariner.
Oh,
But
all right.
it doesn't taper,
All right.
so it
All right.
looks even bigger.
Yeah, and it's got a bunch of cool features now that I don't know how to use, so that'll be fun.
Specifically for scuba diving,
No, it's
mountain climbing.
It's specifically for letting people around you know you're not fucking poor.
Yeah, that's all it is. Nobody's going scuba diving. No one is.
You can track
with this
your
goddamn thing.
you can track your menstrual cycle now, which is for all of you men who ovulate out there, that'll be super important for you.
And Apple promises not to release that information or sell that information to insurance companies, which a lot of third-party period tracking apps have been doing.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
Well, that's all fun, huh? That's all fun.
The front face is sapphire?
You don't
It's
say.
been sapphire glass for like fucking 5 years.
I think the watch might be quartz. I could be wrong, though. I got to go back and look. I think there's a new material in it that breaks easier and costs even more to repair. It's $499 to repair it.
Brittany's talking shit. I didn't get you when I asked you if you wanted the new watch. You said you didn't wear it, so shut up. Sit back there and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. You don't get one. You don't get to have fun.
I offered, and you said no.
You said no. All right?
Yeah, I did.
It has a new button on the side, too, that you can program to do whatever you want, rather to start your run, skip to the next track of music that the old Apple Watch didn't have.
Does it have a button where she'll stop accusing me of shit in the goddamn chat while I'm trying to do a show?
Maybe. I think we could program it to mute Brittany's chat.
Good
Oh,
luck.
then
Good luck
if
with
you
that.
can do that,
You're gonna need some next generation technology for that
you
shit.
sure are.
You also
sure
can't
are.
get these bands for a while, so if you wanted there's 3 new types
Oh,
of
the bands are dope. Yeah.
There's a new climbing band,
Mm.
a new running band, and a new scuba band. Unfortunately, the climbing and the running, which are the coolest ones, are kind of on back order already. So you're going to have to go ahead and get that Submariner band.
Oh,
If
sure.
you want it right now.
Of course you are.
You don't want to wait.
Obviously you don't.
And
Yeah.
I think 2 bands are the
How
price,
much are the fucking bands?
Probably I think 2 of them are the price of Apple Watch SE.
My
so
God.
for 2 bands, you could buy the cheap watch.
Are you kidding? Fuck this whole thing.
Pretty sure you can just wait on the bands are the easiest
good.
part of that thing to create.
Yeah, exactly,
Just
you're
wait
good.
on that. I'm gonna get the new phone too. I just haven't decided if I really need I'm looking at I think I've got a 1 terabyte now, and I'm not using. Hold on, let me look. I've got 23,000 videos and pictures on here.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot because we take a lot of weird pictures.
Yeah,
and shit.
tons.
I'm gonna look at how much storage space I have. Hang on. Because I feel like
I've got a terabyte and a half. I know that. So I've used about 500
You
gigs.
need
feel
that
like I'm-
front-facing autofocus.
I don't really need that.
You need that portrait mode in the front-facing camera.
Sure don't.
Yeah,
man.
Really do.
I have 24,000 pieces of media on this phone, and it's a 1 terabyte drive, and I have 750 gigabytes available. So I don't think I'm going to get a 1 terabyte again. I don't think it's going to be necessary. I might go with a 500.
You might be good.
Because it is a decent amount of money you're saving, which is
$200, $300 probably.
which is
Yeah.
ridiculous because that little hard drive costs like 12 cents to make.
Yeah. And then the
There's
bigger
no
screen is an extra $100, and that display is probably not an extra $100 to Apple, but R&D.
Not doing that.
Last but not least, here before we bring up some listeners at the Elizabeth thing, they're toting the coffin through town and everything else.
Have they done the what do you call it, dunk tank yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's going to be at the end. That's going to be the last. That's the last day. At the end.
It'd be
of
cool
this.
if they did a dunk tank into like a fire pit, so she got burned like on a pyre.
Yeah.
Like and instead of throwing baseballs or whatever, you're like shooting arrows or throwing spears or something.
Be sweet.
Like take it back to medieval style.
It'd be sweet.
Or axe throwing contest.
That'd be great. But you know who's there is Prince Andrew.
Oh, did he bring the puppet?
No, well, so somebody started heckling him. Protesters were heckling him, and they got removed.
Well, he raped that girl, so
He did,
you know.
but they removed the protesters and not him. And people are outraged that he was even there, and that
Yeah.
the Queen even supported this bullshit.
Well,
and,
she
and let
did
him off the
strip
hook.
him of all of his titles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe don't invite him to the funeral. You know what I mean? That seems,
Yeah, probably not, right? Maybe he invited himself. Right? Did he? I think that's my guess. Is he
it's possible, but they
probably
also
invited himself.
They also arrested a woman who said she had a sign and it said something like "Get rid of the monarchy" or whatever, and they arrested her for disturbing the peace.
Yeah. Well,
So
understandable.
When the state starts to conflate the idea of disturbing the peace with disturbing their ability to go unchallenged, now you have authoritarianism. That's what that is, just to be clear.
But
So,
honestly, haven't they been giving up some of their power for a while?
I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
They're fine.
That
Georgia.
woman should be able to say whatever the fuck she wants as long as she's not physically assaulting somebody.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. Now she's gone, but she's fine, you know? Now's the point of the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. We've got some listeners here in studio. You guys will be here pretty much all week, right? Till what day? Till Friday? What? When? Saturday? Okay, cool. So we'll go one by one. We'll start with you, Ruben, since you lost today in the chat.
Actually, some of the... Oh, never mind, it's coming up.
What else we got?
Some of the older members want the newer members to come up first.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, let me haze Ruben real
I know,
quick.
you gotta do
and
what you gotta do. I
and
understand.
then after that, for sure. Ruben put it about an inch from her
1
mouth.
inch from the mouth.
There you go, dude. Listen to that voice.
Fucking A.
It's honey. You lost today.
I did.
You lost today.
Her
But
fingers were faster than mine.
They were, but I want at least people to see it on camera. This is the guy who's always in there, and you always end up winning and getting in the chat first on YouTube. So I'm proud of you. Welcome to Drinkin' Bros.
Thank you again.
You've been on before in the past.
I
Who would
have.
you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the week to?
So my drinking bro of the week is going to be the purveyor of this alcohol that I brought
There
for
you go.
Mr. Patterson and Mr. Holloway.
Boom.
Mr. J.J. Jackson.
JJ Jackson.
Yes, he is in the
Is
chat.
he high and angry?
He is high and
Okay.
angry.
So this is High and Angry Still Works. This is Scotch. Is it 110 proof?
It is.
Wow.
Let's crack it open.
No, I'm gonna wait. I can't do it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, we went hard this weekend.
I'm not going to lie, that bottle looks a little safer than the last one he sent.
We went really fucking hard this weekend, starting with a 110 in the middle of the afternoon. We still have another show to do.
I understand that, but I thought you were a champion.
I am, but the advertisers will be pissed if I beef up the reads.
Okay.
Like, can't do it now. High and Angry, we're here all week.
True.
You can't just go out of the gates like this. Last time you guys got nuked out on like a Tuesday, and most of you didn't show up for the rest of the week.
I was there. You just didn't see me.
Were you sleeping on the ghost bed in the back room?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Where were you?
I was just in the corner.
All right. Just laying on the ground. Let's start the week easy and then
Okay.
ease into this bender because we're sending you guys to a concert on Wednesday.
I heard, and I
It's-
appreciate that.
Absolutely. It's Bush, Alice in Chains, and Breaking Benjamin on, is it Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Ooh, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Joel, we're going to have to change something. Okay, Wednesday.
Why would happen?
A iconoblast situation.
All right. No worries.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
worries. Apologize.
Okay, it's okay.
I apologize.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Fucking A.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I will hold you to later on in the week.
For sure.
Taking a sip.
For sure. We still have another show after this. Drinkin' Bro Sports is right after this. I can't go 110 right now. My God, man. My God. So who did you want to bring up, by the way?
Miss Julia.
Okay,
You want to come up here? Special day
Yeah.
for your guy?
Come on up.
I don't give a shit, Craig.
She was first in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
she
can
was
learn
first
how
in the
to
chat.
pronounce her name. She'll tell you how to do it.
Well, it's Julia Mongolia. I'll never not call her that forever. Like, it's the way that it's written out. It's the way that it looks, and I will read it as such. You know?
I
Come on
also
up, Jules.
judge things by the way they look.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Close enough.
Julia Mongolia. Come
Close
on up.
enough.
Pronounce it for me.
Mungia.
Yeah, I will never get that.
No.
It's Mongolia forever. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I expect nothing less.
Welcome back.
warms my heart.
Nice to have you
Thanks.
here again.
Thanks.
Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
I'm gonna give it to my husband
Yeah.
for showing up and coming on this week-long trip with 4 crazy dudes.
Yeah, exactly. Where did you guys end up staying at?
We have an Airbnb in Dripping Springs.
Oh, nice. Nice. Ripping it up here.
Yeah.
You got a pool?
Yeah,
You got a pool too?
We do.
Look at that. Thank God. It's
Yeah.
hot as shit here.
it is.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's awesome. Tell everybody where you live in real life.
Washington.
Washington.
We've had a heat wave though.
Oh, you did? I was just going to ask that. Like, is it a shell shock?
We've had real heat, like 90s.
Oh, 90s in Washington.
heat.
What happens there? Do people freak out?
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet.
yeah. People buy air conditionings because we don't have air conditioning like normally.
That's right. Nobody up there has it, huh? That's fucking insane. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the journey down here.
Yeah.
What's your husband's name?
Eve.
Are we allowed to say it?
Yeah, Eve.
Eve? Mm-hmm. Is that Spanish?
Yeah. Well,
it
it's
really?
short for it's a nickname. but,
Okay.
Yeah.
What's his full? What's
Everardo.
Oh, there we go. That
Everybody
sounds
in the
fancier.
chat knows him as Chorizo.
Chorizo, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Shout
Calling
out
you
Chorizo.
out.
Shout out Chorizo. And as the week goes on, we'll just keep bringing you up one by one. I know Reed White is here. Kraggers is here. Obviously, Big Dick Danoff is in the house today. And we'll bring you guys up throughout the week. And if you're in the Austin area, feel free to stop by the studio. And we'll have you live on air. If you're not, go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a review. It's all the advertisers care about. Same with Spotify. That's just a 5-star. You can click it and then walk away. Can you lead us out of here? Can you do
no.
it at this point?
No, it's stage fright.
Really?
Yeah. Every time. I'm lucky I can speak this time. No.
I want you
There's
to
an
lead us
empty
out.
seat. I don't need Ross
All right.
clap.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast.